So I'm gonna match up these holes here. This is a little long here, which is okay, because remember I just cut it by sight. I'm just gonna cut that off. Or you can wait until you sew it and then cut it. But I'm gonna cut it first since I'm gonna pin it down. I want you to see the exact proportion of it as it would be. And I know a lot of you all are going to be like, wow, you had no idea that it was this easy to make something, which it is. People spend so much money on clothes, and they wouldn't believe that they could make something that looks 100% better than what they purchased and save quite a bit of money. Because a lot of the clothes that's out there now, the quality is not worth anything. And I can't believe that some of these top name designers are pushing so much, their designs are just garbage. They're not using quality fabric. I mean, to spend $100 on something made out of polyester. I mean, I think $100 or more should be a natural fabric. Something made out of a wool or cotton, you know, a silk fabric. Anything rayon, in my opinion, shouldn't be in the hundreds of dollars. But that's just my opinion. And I guess that's the reason why I'm not a top designer. I never knew how to capitalize off of things of that nature. And I just refuse to spend that type of money. I really do. I mean, I'll go to the secondhand store and purchase something and redesign it. And it'll look better than anything that you can find in any of these top name stores. That's one thing. Once you get better at designing your own clothes, you'll be able to do the same thing. And I call it redesign or a remix of the same outfit. You can always change it around. For instance, a lot of these really short shorts. I could not believe how much people are paying for short shorts. And all you have to do is go buy a pair of jeans and cut them off. And put a stitch around the bottom of it and you have some short shorts for little or nothing. You know, secondhand stores are selling jeans for about $5. But somebody will go out and pay $200 for something that looks like it's secondhand. But with me, I shop on a budget. I'm extremely frugal. Even if I have the money, I still don't spend it because I sew and I know what it takes. I would prefer to spend a little more time and make something that I know will fit me perfectly. Okay, so now what I have done, I've just pinned my entire seam together. See? I just put the pins in it and I'm going to sew along that seam. I'm still going to give it about an inch seam allowance. And by you doing this, you don't have to worry about your fabric slipping. Now, it depends on what type of sewing machine that you have. A lot of times it won't jump over the needles. So you'll take the needle out right before you get to it. With me, it's just a habit, so I take the needle out. But some sewing machines, they'll jump over the needle. Okay, so with this, sewing it. Now, I know I want this sleeve tapered in, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to deal with that during the alteration process. Because the alteration process, you do that right before you put the finishing touches on everything. I'm going to sew all the way around. I envisioned this dress about a month ago, and a lot of times when I come up with these different ideas, they just burn a hole in my brain. It's like, oh, I have to get it. And that's when I draw out my little pad and start sketching it down. You know. When I first went to design school, this was way back when, I was surprised because I always drew like stick figures. I was surprised how many people that were design students, that their illustrations were excellent. And they were so much more advanced than I was. But all of mine, believe it or not, those pictures in my vision helped me. But they wouldn't, the drawings, they wouldn't sell anything. But they definitely would help me get it down from paper to wearing the design. And again, I'll tell you, if your sewing machine is snagging on these pins, right before you get to it, just take the pin out. That way you don't have to worry about the thread catching. I have a really good sewing machine here. This is a Singer, and I love Singers. I know you all hear me praise them all the time, but if you've been sewing as much as I have, you will hate to sew on a machine that every time you sew a couple stitches, the thread breaks or it gathers, it bags. And with my machine, I don't have any of those problems. And also, Singer's an American-made sewing machine. One of the few things we still produce here in our country. The dress is basically made. The only thing I have to do now is to alter it in. Make sure everything fits perfectly. And if it doesn't, take it up or let it out. It's very simple. Now with me, I'm going to take out all of these pins here. And this is one of the processes that I skip because to me it's time consuming. Putting the pins in and I have to take the pins out. Everything I do is like shortcut. It's like 1, 2, 3, get the job done. Let's sew this baby up and put it on and let's get to stepping. I think I'm going to wear it with some boots. Okay. So before I alter it in, I told you I want this arm tapered in. So I'm going to do that right fast. And then I'm going to try this dress on and see what type of alterations need to be made. Okay, and that's all it is. Tapering is just V'ing it out. And we're going to clip this off right here. And then I'm going to try this dress on right fast and see where we are from there. Okay? But that's the dress. Okay, so I've tried the dress on. It fits perfectly the way I want it to fit. The only thing we have to do now is I want to get that draping effect. Now, one way to get the draping effect is I'm going to use elastic. And what elastic will do, it'll pull it up and it'll make it rouge up on the sides and it'll give it that nice draping effect. And I've used my pattern here, the one that I made. And you can see right along here, that's the gathering. That's what's going to cause it to drape really nice. So I'm running a piece of elastic here, and I'm going to sew a piece of elastic going down this way. And we're going to do that right now. So I have a thin piece of elastic that I have here. I'm going to put my sewing machine on a zigzag stitch. That way it can gather and it'll catch the elastic on both sides. So set it down. And once we're complete, you'll be surprised. You'll be like, wow, LaToya, I have seen dresses like that at the mall for hundreds of dollars. And you will see how simple it is to get that draping effect. So I'll take a couple stitches, and then when you're sewing with elastic, just pull your elastic. Hold your fabric still and pull the elastic. And the tighter you pull it, the tighter the draping will be. And I'm lining up my elastic on my seam line. And anything that you don't like, you can always take it apart. And what I really like about this draping is that it hides any imperfection that you may have. If you got the little kangaroo pouch or you got the muffin top, anything, all of that fabric, it'll hide all of it for you. And I'm just estimating estimating where I would like for this to stop. Like again, I told you on Sewing 101, it's your design, so however it turns out, that's on you. So I'm stopping about here. I can always make it different once I put the dress on. But you can see it's already gathered by itself. Okay, now with this armhole here, what I want to do is the same thing. I want it to gather like I had on the picture. So I'm going to run a piece of elastic across the top of this. Same thing, same principle. Pulling this that tight because I don't want it to be all runched, you know, scrunched up. I just want it to drape. Now toward the end, I'm going to really pull it because that's where I want to really come in. At the end of it. See? And that's why I pulled it tighter right there. And here it was pretty much loose. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut all my seam allowance down, all of this extra excess fabric. I'm going to cut all of that off. I'm going to hand stitch all of this around. And then we're going to have the finished dress. So next time you see me, I'm going to have this dress on and I'll be ready to rock it tonight. Okay, see, here it is, like 1, 2, 3, less than 30 minutes and we have a finished product. You think I'm ready to go out partying tonight? I think so. You see how easy it is? This right here was the ruching that I had on the side. That's the elastic that I used. And you see how it has the draping effect? It's almost identical to the picture that I have. And you see how beautiful it is? I'm ready for a night on the town. So, until next time, you can check me out. LaToyaMatthewsShow@yahoo.com. Send me an email and let me know what you think about this dress. Okay, until next time, I'll see you later.